Welcome to All That Catholic Stuff. I'm Chris Bray.
You just need to know you are the beloved child of God.
I'm holding up the bread and holding up the wine in the upper room. Jesus said, "This is my body, this is my blood. Do this in remembrance of me." But what does that word remembrance mean? You know, so many times today we think that word remember means just to like reminisce or to recollect. Like, oh man, wasn't my birthday party last year awesome? You know, it's not what it means though. It's wrong. That word remember comes from the Greek word nemesis, which means to make present a reality from the past. To make present, to bring into the present a reality from the past. And the Old Covenant Jews really understood this reality because they would offer the sacrifice of the Passover lamb year after year after year. In fact, God said something very similar to them when He instituted that covenant. He said, "Do this in remembrance of me." That sounds pretty similar to what Jesus said in the upper room when He instituted His new covenant. The Old Covenant Jews understood that every time that they would sacrifice and participate this offering of the lamb, of the Passover lamb, that they were participating somehow in the original Exodus. The sacrifice of the lamb of the original Exodus, which God freed His people from slavery and led them out into the desert and led them on a journey to the promised land. And the way that we know that they understood this reality is because the Son of the Father, hundreds of years later, hundreds of years after the original Exodus, the Son would ask this ritual question. He would ask His Father, "What are we doing, Dad? What is this Passover celebration all about?" And the Father would have to give His Son a very scripted and deliberate answer. The Father would tell His Son this. He would say, "It's because of what the Lord has done for me when I came out of Egypt." It's what the Lord has done for me when I came out of Egypt, right? But that Father was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years after the original Exodus. How is it that this Father could say it's because of what God has done for me when I came out of Egypt? He didn't come out of Egypt. He's crazy talk. What's he talking about? Well, it's because they understood that every time that they would offer a Passover sacrifice, somehow they would participate with the once and for all sacrifice that happened hundreds of years prior in the original Exodus when God saved them, and every time they participate, they were renewing the covenant that God had made with them. Does this sound familiar to you? I hope that it does, because every time that we come to Mass, we're doing something very similar. Every time we go to Mass, it's not a new sacrifice. We're not re-sacrificing Jesus somehow, but it is a participation in the once and for all sacrifice that happened with Jesus on the cross and in the upper room 2,000 years ago. Somehow we are in remembering this, and nemesis, we are making that reality of the cross and the Last Supper present to us, and we are participating in it. It's like we got a time machine and we got to go back 2,000 years. Like, how cool is that? Yeah. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, I have 4 things for you to do. The first one is to like my Facebook page. The second one is to share this video. The third one is to go to my website, chrisbraymusic.com, and subscribe to receive all that Catholic stuff to your inbox. And the fourth one is to consider bringing me to your faith community for a parish mission, a night of worship, or a youth event.
You just need to know you are the beloved child of God.